Let's understand Azure front door redirection. It's very important that you know this. See, when a user makes a request to a website like example.com, Azure front door will help to route that request to the right place. Sometimes you may want to automatically redirect users to a different URL, such as changing from HTTP to HTTPS or from one domain to another. This is where Azure front door redirection rules come into play. Within front door, routing rules define how the incoming request is matched and processed. First, Azure front door checks if the request is using HTTP or HTTPS. This can determine if you want to redirect HTTP traffic to HTTPS. It looks for a match in the domain part of the URL, like example.com. Then it checks the specific path in the URL, like /product or /contact. If front door finds a match, it knows what actions to take. You can set up different redirect types to tell users how to handle the redirection. First one is like a 301, which is for moved permanently. This tells the browser that the resource has been permanently moved. It's often used for HTTP or HTTPS redirection. Second one is 302 found, which is for the temporary redirect and use when the resource is temporarily moved to another location. Another one is 301 temporary redirect, similar to 302, but the method is get and post used to request the resource. Next one is 308, which is for permanent redirect, similar to 301, but it also keeps the request method. How to configure redirection? You can use multiple ways to configure redirect, such as protocol. By setting protocol, you can decide how to redirect. HTTPS only means always send the user to HTTPS, which is recommended for security. HTTP only means keep traffic in HTTP, but this is not recommended. Another one is match request, means if the incoming request is HTTPS, keep it HTTPS. If it is HTTP, keep it HTTP. You can use destination host to configure redirect as well. You can change the domain name in the redirection. For example, if a user goes to oldsite.com, you can redirect them to newsite.com. You can also use the redirection path to configure redirect. You can also change the path part of the URL. For example, you can redirect example.com/about to example.com new about, something like that. And lastly, you can use query string to configure redirect. If the URL has an extra information, within the URL, such as like a query string, you can choose to keep it or change it during the redirect. You can also change the path before sending the request to the backend server, like changing from old path to new path. And Azure front door checks if the backend server are healthy by sending special test requests called probes, right? If a server doesn't respond as expected, it will be excluded from traffic until it's healthy again. In simple terms, Azure front door allows you to set up rules to automatically redirect users to different URLs based on factors like protocol, domain, and path. This will help with scenarios like switching to HTTPS or moving content to a new website.